Hello and welcome to the I Am Energy 4-Day Challenge. I'm Lauren Polly. If I haven't met you yet, I hope to one day in person. And in the meantime, it's beautiful to connect with you wherever you are in the world receiving these videos and joining me for a live workshop on the 4th day of this challenge. I'm Lauren Polly. I am the founder of Modern Mystic Healer. You can check more information out about the program at modernmystichealer.com. And all of this is really to invite you to embrace the gifts that you were born with. And from my perspective, there is no greater gift that we all have than being aware of energy. Now, the interesting thing is most of us are not taught that we're aware of energy. And even if we are taught that we're aware of energy or that there is energy around us and in us, that we don't really have the education, the toolbox, and the information to know how to utilize it. So what happens when you don't know that you are energy and there's energy all around you? And that you're aware of it? Well, there's a lot of breakdowns that occur. When you have overwhelm, when you feel like there's tons of things tugging on you and like one more thing comes and oh my God, I can't handle it. When you feel that thing in the pit of your stomach when you meet somebody and you're kind of like, I don't really know what it is, but they make me uncomfortable. When you do meet someone and you relax around them because you're like, wow, there's just something about them that feels really good. All of that is your awareness of energy. Those are just some very simple examples to get you going, and also to kind of look at where you have been aware energetically your entire life without maybe having the word energy to go with it. This 4 days is going to dive into a lot of information, both kind of on the information practical level, and then we're going to get into playing with energies and how they actually show up for us with some social experiments and being able to get out and walk and talk the tools so that you can discover your own awareness of it. This video today, for day 1, we're going to do Energy 101. I also put some links to some additional resources down below. If you look down there, there's going to be kind of 3 different video series that I'm looking at right now. I may add some more that will kind of support the information that I'm giving from a different angle. These are with different mentors of mine. They're also with different people, different content, different videos that I found over the years where I've watched them myself and went, oh, that makes sense. When someone describes it that way, that makes sense to me. Sometimes we hear the word energy and we're like, I'm not quite sure what that is. I remember being on a date years and years ago when I just started using energetic tools and doing energetic-based body work. I told the guy that I was an energy worker, and he thought that that meant that I worked for the power company. He really had no frame of reference to go, oh, energy, actually like the energy in your body, in your being, in the environment, and how we all engage and interact with each other. I would just say if you've been feeling overwhelmed, if you've ever walked into a crowded room and your head's gotten super loud, if you've ever gotten around somebody and your body started giving you weird sensation and pains and angst, also if you've had a lot of chronic stuff going on, social anxiety, body interestingness, certain places that just don't kind of feel good to be in, all of that is your awareness of energy and what I'm hoping to actually change in this 4-day challenge. So, what is energy? Energy is just that. Energy is the building blocks of the universe. I am energy, your energy, our bodies are energy, our environments are energy. Everything in it is actually composed of energy. Quantum physics is an amazing place to start looking for some more information. One of the resources I have down below will dive into that a little bit more. In the meantime, just know that nothing is really as solid as we think it is. I mean, even science will tell you that. The molecules clang together at a different rate to make it appear solid, like the computer screen, like your phone that you may be watching this on, when actually it's not solid at all. It's just that the molecules are moving at a different rate than like this area here that's open space. So let's dig in a little bit to the myths. 5 things I want to cover in today's 101 video and that I want you to kind of dig into today as you move forward. Number 1, huge myth out there that you may be functioning from. There is no such thing as good energy or bad energy. There are a lot of energetic modalities out there that kind of teach a cleansing ritual, like you have to protect yourself from bad energy, or if you touch someone for too long, you're going to like catch what they have, so then you have to go wash your hands after. I know my tantric yoga studies, there was like cleansing showers where coming home from the day of the hospital shift, I used to work at a hospital, I would always want to take a shower because I kind of had this thing that I had to cleanse all the energy that might have followed me home. It's actually not so. Energy isn't good or bad. It just is. It just is. It's actually our judgment of what is good or bad that starts to kind of twist the energy a little bit. It's really our perception of what we can receive and actually have in our space, or we can't receive and you just can't have it in your space, that makes it feel good or bad. So I would really invite you, especially today while we're digging in, and especially maybe tomorrow where we do our social experiments with energy, to really just have that in your awareness. Where is there still like a not okay energy to be around? And where is there an energy that like, oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one energy that I'm actually okay with. These are the kind of people I'm okay with. This is the kind of work environment I'm okay with. This is the kind of money I'm okay with. All of those points of view keep you super limited because there's only one bandwidth of this infinite energy that's available, that you're only willing to play at. If you were actually willing to be and receive all energies without a good energy or a bad energy, you actually have a lot more at your disposal to be able to utilize, and a lot more ease around people, because you won't be so concerned with trying to protect yourself, trying to keep people at a distance, having to get away from certain people. You'll start to realize where, oh, that's just my judgment coming up, that they have bad energy and that I might take it on in some way and get stuck with it. You'll be able to start pushing through to actually find your feet amongst other people and not have that weird withdrawal pattern that a lot of us have. So it'll work both ways. Wherever you're limiting yourself with what's good and wherever you're limiting yourself with what's bad, it'll actually start opening up a lot more ease and possibilities for you. So that's number one. There is no such thing as good or bad energy. Energy just is. It's just energy. Number two, we talked about this a little bit already. Energy is not limited. There is actually an infinite amount of energy. I mean, even look at what we had just talked about. Energy is everywhere. It's you, it's your body, it's the building block of the universe. Everything around you has an energetic component to it. It's made of it. So being able to kind of look at like, what most of us go to of like, wow, I'm so tired, I'm so overwhelmed, that person's sucking the life out of me. We feel depleted a lot. We feel like we give and we give and we give. And when we do, it's kind of like we run out and we go into an empty tank syndrome. It's actually a huge misconception that we're functioning from, that we can be depleted and where people can take from us, like we can't actually refill. Energy is everywhere. There's an infinite amount. It's just, again, allowing yourself to receive it all. Receive it more, and being able to come out of the mindset that you can be depleted. And you know, we all go through it. I go through it. There's a lot of times where I have multiple projects going on with my business. I may be doing a hospital shift that day as well. I may have personal things that are going on. There's just this kind of thing where it's like a mom with 10 different kids that are tugging at her skirt constantly. Hey, 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 hey. And before you know it, it's like you kind of run out of steam because you're trying to give to everything else. Again, that's coming from the mindset that you have to give without actually being able to refill your tank or receive, that you're going to be depleted, that you're going to run out and be on empty. It's actually not so. That's myth number two. There is no such thing as limited energy. Energy is unlimited. It is limitless. And there's an infinite amount out there. So there's two. Number three, I absolutely love, and this is something, this is a big aha. This is also a muscle to build. Energy is never stuck. Energy is never solid. It is only us who stick it and make it so. So if energy was actually the fundamental building block of everything, if your problems, if your limitation, if your upsets were actually energy, energy is ever moving, it's ever changing, it will change naturally. We know this just based on the concept of time. Think about an upset you had maybe 10, 15 years ago. Does it still have the same charge? Is it something that's still following you around? And even if it is it exactly the same as it was 15 years ago, or just the amount of time and space since it? Has it actually been able to shift a little bit? That in of itself will give you awareness with this. With time, with space, the energy will start to move, will start to change naturally. But the more we hold onto it, the more we stick it, the more we start judging it, or the more that we start creating chronic issues around it, the more grooved in it becomes. So if energy wasn't stuck, if it was never solid, if it was able to move, it was only really our desire, our need, and what we've been taught to hold on to things. If you could actually learn to loosen your grip, let it move, let it change, let it actually start to morph on its own, would you be able to move past all the upsets, all the problems, all the trauma and the drama and the depleted and the overwhelm and the social weirdness, all the relationship dynamics? If you actually allowed yourself to let go a little bit more possibilities actually show up. We're going to be diving into this big time on day 3, which is relaxing into it. There's a way where we can start opening up, relaxing, and not having that death grip on the things in our life and the people in it that actually allow the energy to move and change. And the fascinating thing is, once the energy starts to move and change, everything layered on top of it does as well. So you change the energy, you change the situation. You change the energy, you change your body. You change your energy, you change the relationship dynamic. You change the energy, you change your money flows. It's kind of amazing, and something I'm very excited to dive into with you, and also something I'm super shocked hasn't been shared more of. So we're going to dive into that big time. But just in the meantime, just for today, really take that in. Every time you feel something stuck, every time that chronic thing comes up, every time your mind is racing on the one thing it won't let go of, remind yourself, energy is everything. And energy is always moving. It's always changing. I'm the only one who's got the power to stick it. What if I just loosened my grip here? What if I just breathed and relaxed? What would change? Good? Cool. So number 4, this is a big one. Only special people can actually perceive energy. How many of you have actually gone to like an energy healer? And not an energy facilitator like I am, and I know a lot of you guys do as well, where we teach people and empower people into their own awareness of energy and how to actually utilize it for themselves in their own unique way. A lot of people will be energy healers, and what they'll do is it's like they're the special guru person that has to do it for you. They don't ever teach you that you're aware also. And it's not like you can do what they can do. You can do what they can do in your way. It's not that one person has the magical way to do it. It's that one person has harnessed their own ability and their own skill set with it. You'll have the ability to actually build this muscle yourself. There's a lot of information on this topic, different tools that we're going to dive into, but in the meantime, just know, where have you actually bought that you weren't someone who was aware? Wherever you're like new to this whole topic and like, I've never even heard of the word energy before. I don't even know what that is. That's okay. It's wherever you've been feeling, again, that overwhelm, that pit of the stomach thing, wherever you notice there's just a different feeling and sense when you're around different people in different environments, that's your awareness. It looks different for all of us. Some people will have a body sense. Some people will feel it emotionally. Some people will feel it mentally. Some people's heads get busy. Sometimes there's just this weird spatial thing that happens. It's just much more about you getting comfortable and diving in and discovering it for yourself. So it's not just a special few who know how to perceive energy. Everyone can perceive it. Everyone does, whether they kind of admit to it or not. And the beautiful thing is once you're able to go, oh, I am aware of energy. That's what this thing is. Then you start to be able to harness your own skills so that you actually start to learn how to utilize energy, how to create with it, how to heal energy, how to mend it, make it stronger, make it different, and ultimately how to transform it. And that brings us up to number 5. Energy can never be created. Energy actually can't be destroyed either. Energy can be transformed from one thing into another. This is really the science of energy. If you start looking at quantum physics, energy isn't created, neither can it be actually destroyed, but it can get transformed all the time. It's like the food you eat. You eat the food, it transforms itself into energy, your body's got more pop and zing to it. Same thing with the energy between us, right? I can change the energy of an interaction. I can change that by not going into my reactionary patterns. If I'm talking to someone and we have an upset that comes up, I get angry and my initial response is to yell or shut down or try to defend where I'm coming from. If I can take a second and just relax and let that solid thing move, I actually have more choice in what to choose. I can choose to actually be something different in that interaction. That's a transforming of energy. That energy isn't getting created, it's not getting destroyed. I'm actually changing it into something different that will work for me and hopefully work for everyone else as well. This is the magic that we be. This is our ability not only to be aware of energy, but actually how to learn to be adept at handling our energetic awareness, not getting lost in it, and then stepping up to being able to change it, transform it, create with it, and really claim and own our power. A lot of you may have been feeling powerless. You may be feeling overwhelmed right now. You may be kind of overwhelmed with anxiety. Your body may be having a lot of chronic signs that it's been telling you. There may be a lot of illness coming up. All of those actually aren't wrongnesses. They're not things that are wrong with you. What if they're actually your awareness of energy that you just haven't dived into yet in an expansive way? There's something in shamanism called the birth of a healer. And a lot of times the birth of a healer looks like a breakdown. It looks like chronic body issue. It looks like mental issues. It looks like emotional upheaval. It looks like a break in you. Actually, it's not a break down, it's a breakthrough. It's you becoming more aware of what's going on around you. It's you building certain muscles if you're able to walk through it and come out the other end. And that's something that a lot of us don't get support with. We're in the birth of a healer process. All of these tools that we're talking about today come from my 30-day Birth of a Healer program that will be coming up in February 1st. We're going to be launching the next version of that. Stay tuned for details. But I want you to embrace this concept and just take a peek at it. See what actually rings for you. Tap into the energy of it. If you're actually not wrong, if you're not broken, if there wasn't something that you can't handle, but you're actually breaking through something to gain awareness, to gain the energetic muscle, to get more information, to maybe go on an exploratory path that you never would have chosen had you not been going through this supposed upset. That's actually the path. It's the calling to transform your energy, to actually move through to be a healer, to be a leader, to be someone who shows up differently in the world. And when you're able and willing to be that, everything gets easier. Your head will quiet, your body will start to change and shift. It gets easier being around other people, forming relationships that are actually healthy, that actually support and sustain you, and that really Really kind of acknowledge who you are, not who this false front is that other people may have been guiding you towards. Everything in your life will expand and get greater. That's where our true power lies. Only when we start to embrace our gifts, embrace our difference, and start to really come to the truths of the universe that everything is energy. And a lot of what you've been stumbling with up until now is that you're aware of energy. You haven't known that, or you've known it, but you've been operating from some of these myths, or you've known it, you haven't been operating from myths, but there's just more to discover. There's an incredible bandwidth of possibilities. There's an incredible infinite amount of that. It just takes your willingness to go and explore and be supported in the process. That's what I'm delighted to be here with in all my different programs, but especially these next 4 days. What can we discover together? Only time will tell. But in the meantime, look at these 5 things today. There's not good energy or bad energy. It's just energy. Energy is not limited. There's actually an infinite amount of it. How could you be utilizing it and receiving it differently? Energy is never stuck. It's never solid. It's only us with our death grips on it that keep it so. You don't have to be the special guru person to perceive energy. Everyone has this capability, including you. And of course, energy can't be created or destroyed. It's just transformed constantly. What ability do you have with transforming energy, and what can you play with today to actually start enlivening that in your own space? Play with these things. Check out the resources down below. I'll be in your inbox tomorrow for our social experiments, where we're going to take a lot of this out and about and actually see what is it you're aware of and how does it show up for you uniquely that you can start diving into more. All of the conversations, more support, questions, and tools are going to be on the Facebook group, Modern Mystic Healer. I'll put the link below as well. Click on that, join the group, and we'll dive into more of this supportive conversation, especially throughout the day. What does this video bring up for you? What are these myths? Have you heard this before? Is it brand new information? Are you still kind of confused? That's okay. Ask a question. I'm happy to give you more information and support. This is much more about us diving in together. How deep we go, it's up to you. Have a great day exploring the wonderful and kind of wacky world of energy, and I will see you tomorrow.